everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to Comic Book Wednesday. But more than Comic Book Wednesday, it is a Wonder Wednesday because now I finally have something new to look at for Wonder Woman. If you're a viewer of the channel, you know Wonder Woman is my main fandom. Her comics, her figures, everything. I am just a huge fan of Wonder Woman. The first movie was great. The second movie, but we haven't gotten much for Wonder Woman from McFarlane Toys, and that is very disappointing. We got the Wonder Woman 84 figure with the Gal Gadot likeness. We got the Wonder Woman 84 figure in the golden armor. We have the Last Night on Earth Wonder Woman, and we have the one that I haven't picked up yet, the McFarlaneized, the Todd-ized version of Wonder Woman that I haven't seen yet. But we haven't gotten anything else. And we haven't gotten like a real traditional version of Wonder Woman yet from McFarlane. So when I saw this, this is Mezco 112. This is the first Mezco 112 figure that I own. And of course it would be Diana. I picked this up at RetroCon at the end of September, and I believe I showed it to you in the haul video. Check that out right there. And I'm finally getting around to opening it, and I'm very excited about this. Now, according to the analytics, a lot of you watch the Foosh, so you've probably seen Robo open this up years ago when it was new, and that's cool. I'm fine with that, because this is more for me, to be completely honest, just so that I can take a look at this figure. Now, what we have here is we have what is, I'm guessing, their standard Mezco 112 box. Logo on the front, Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman logo. I really like this. I really like this look. Up top, we have Mezco 112 all in black. On the back, we have the image of what you get inside, the figure, the different accessories, some really nice cross images of her in pose mode. I can't wait to get this thing open and look at it. On the side, we have her shield. On this side, we have her shield. And on the bottom, just more black. Now, this whole thing is a slipcover that you slide this off, and you can see what's inside. Sort of. Because she's covered in a plastic bag to keep her even fully more protected. And let's just get her open. I'm too excited about this. Let's get this box open and let's take a look at Diana. Surprisingly, there's no tape on it. But I guess since you don't order these in a store, or you don't buy these in a store, you order them. Alright. Here's the tray. Up, her lasso is sliding. And we have... Come on. Come on. Oh, we have two trays. So on the bottom here, okay, on the bottom here, we have claw for part of her stand. Oh, I've seen this. This right here, I've seen... Oh, there's even a lid on this one. Holy cow. I've seen this, that Mezco gives a Ziploc baggie with their pieces, so that all of the accessories that I'm not using when I pose her, I can write Wonder Woman on here and just pop all of the accessories in this Ziploc bag, which that's a cool addition. I really appreciate that. Whoop. We have her axe, and we have her spear, and we'll look at these later when we go into accessories, but we also have her cape here, which is sleeved, and I like that, and you can feel the wires in there. Oh, this is going to be so cool. I can only really tilt this like this before all of these hands and everything start falling out, all of the accessories, but you can see inside here that she has this plastic around her to stop from rub. So let's get a look at her. Okay, friends, here she is, Diana of Themyscira, Wonder Woman, out of the box, and I may be jumping the gun here, and it should come as no surprise with me saying this, but this might be my main display Wonder Woman from this point forward. Up until now, it's been the Wonder Woman 84 McFarlane Toys just because it was the best looking one that I've had so far. And even though this is not a 7-inch figure, that it wouldn't go with the rest of the McFarlane collection, I don't really worry about that because we haven't gotten much from McFarlane anyway. But it looks like this will definitely fit in with my Marvel Legends, with some of the DC figures that I already have, and we'll take a look at that in the comparisons later in the video. But for now, let's put the tape measure to her and see how Diana stacks up. And you see that to the top of her head, she is about 6.5 inches tall, just shy of a full 6.5 inches. So she is going to match up with your Marvel figures, with your Hasbro figures, probably with your Mattel Multiverse figures that you used to have, although Mattel didn't look anything like this. Now, one thing that is slightly disappointing right out of the box, but I know this is something I'm going to be able to take care of, that you saw the plastic sheath that she was in when I took her out of the box, and yet somehow we still have a little bit of paint rub here on her shoulder, this black paint rub. I don't know where that's from, but that's not going to be a problem. I can get that off. And if that is my biggest complaint so far, then I don't think we're going to have anything to worry about. But for now, let's get a closer look at her. We'll take a look at articulation. We'll take a look at sculpt, paint detail, things like that. Okay, starting with articulation, we'll start at the head like we always do. Now remember, with the articulation for the head, she has this huge mane of hair that's coming down, which, man, I know we're not looking at the sculpt yet, but just look at that. That looks fantastic. So with this big mane of hair, she actually still can do a full 360. Until it gets to the front, you got to help it out a little bit. She has some great tilt going on. Now with this one, she can't really look up, but she can look down. Now the head pops off so easily, and you can see that there's a ball joint here. It's a double ball joint. So that is what helps her with the articulation, with that tilt, with the looking up and down. Everything just pops off real easy. The arms can come up way past 90. They'll do a full 360. She has single jointed elbows that come up a little bit past 90, and they are hinge and swivel elbows. Swivel at the wrists and pivot in and out. Okay. Now she can also, it is sort of like the McFarlane ones, where if you turn it and pivot it and do this, then they can move up and down as well. She has a waist twist that's a little tight, mainly because this is all new, but I feel like that will loosen up over time. She has an ab crunch that, amazingly enough, she can bend this armor piece, and you can see her ab crunch forward. She can lean back. Legs come up to there, just shy of 90. Legs go forward. Legs go back. You can see the cut right there that she has the thigh swivel. Single jointed knees that come up to about 90. And, oh, it is a swivel. I didn't think the knee swiveled, but there is a swivel at the knee as well. And then ankle rock back, ankle rock forward, and side to side. So she has all the articulation that you would expect out of a figure, especially for a figure like this. And some of it is sticking right now. Like the knee took me by surprise because when I was playing with her before I turned the camera back on, it didn't want to move. But now that it's loosened up a little, you can see that it is moving. Also, the elbow was a little stiff as well, but everything just needed broken in. And I think, oh man, I think everything moves very well. It has an ease to the movement. Once you get it broken in, and once like it's not sticking anymore, everything has an ease to the movement, but it also doesn't feel loose. Like it's going to hold position, and I really like that. Taking a look at the sculpt, we're going to start at the head and work our way down, and you already saw that hair. Let's just take another look at that. Look at the detail in the hair, the black mane of hair. You can see that there's a bit of a wash on it. There's some white, there's some blue in there to make the tresses all stand out so it doesn't just look like a big dark lump. Oh, I love that. Up front, this is definitely a comic portrait of Diana. This isn't based off of Gal, this isn't based off of anything else, but this is very much how she's looking in the comics right now. And I really like that because I don't have a modern figure of Diana that I feel has that look of hers from the comics. And then coming down to the armor, you can see that the armor is a separate piece because you can see You can see her ab crunch right in there. Oh, there's some, wow, there's a lot of paint rub right there on the back of the neck. I didn't even notice that, but it's going to be covered, so I'm not worried about that. But the armor looks like it's a separate piece, and it's sort of bendable, which is why I said with the waist twist that after you break it in, I think it'll work a lot better. The arms, the skin texture is all smooth. There's a little bit of a difference between the head and the body, but unless you're looking for it, you really don't notice it. The gauntlets are simple. Sometimes I feel like they overdo the gauntlets, but the gauntlets, the bracers she has here, are very simple. I love the hand wraps. I love this. The wraps around the hands. Oh, I love that little bit of detail in there. And then her kilt piece here, her skirted piece here, this is like that fake leather that, this isn't plastic. I was surprised by this. You can see mine's a little bent, but I feel like over time I'll be able to flatten that out and get that down. She has this little piece that's hanging off here for the sheath for her sword, and then she has this little piece that you just take that off, and then you can hang the lasso on there, and then it'll just clip right back on, and you'll see that once we take a look at accessories. Legs, once again, very smooth, well sculpted. I like the little details just above the knees. Everything looks very good, very organic. The boots I like. The boots is another place that I feel like that they over-engineer the boots sometimes. Especially in the movie. Like, as much as I liked Wonder Woman in 2017, I felt like the boots were a little overdone, but I like these. These are just simple battle boots, armored combat boots. I really like it. No heel, which I like. It's just a flat boot. Everything looks great. The colors stand out. The colors are vibrant. The colors pop. Everything about this just screams comic book. Oh, fix that a little bit. Everything about this just screams comic book. And this is a look that I've been looking for Diana for a long, long time. And wow, am I glad that I got it. Now, starting with accessories, we're going to start with this. You can see that she comes with a second head with a different face portrait. And one is, this is more like her resting face, and this is definitely like her in the middle of battle face. And the hair is basically the same, I feel. The hair, I think, is basically the same. It's what's underneath the hair. Yeah, because you even have this little tress coming down here. It's what's underneath the hair that is different. And I showed you before, the head pops off so easily, and then you just pop the new one on. And look at that. Look at that. Oh, I love that. I love how it gives her a completely different look. Oh, no, it is different. The hair is swooping in a different direction. It looks fuller down in here. So it is a little different, I think. Maybe? Maybe? Let's see something. Yeah. Yeah, it's going in two different directions. So it's not even that the hair is the same. The hair is a separate sculpt, too. That's great. Oh, I appreciate that. Some of her other accessories that she comes with are her weapons, and you saw this when I pulled this one out of the box for the first time. This is her spear, and I love the detail on the spear. The shaft is just a basic brown, like it's a wooden shaft, but look at the red wraps and the gold detail in it. I mean, look at the detail in the spear head itself. And something else, that this is bendable, so it's not going to break, but it's also not going to lose shape either, like some of the more modern weapons that we get with figures do. This is definitely something that'll hold shape, but isn't going to break just because you look at it wrong. So she has her spear. She has her sword, her Godslayer, which I love that the hilt has the Amazon, the Wonder Woman symbol in it. And I love the design and the look of this sword. And just look at the blade. Look at the ding marks in the blade. Like, this has seen use. This has seen battle. I love that detail. That is awesome. The paint texture to it, the cuts in it, everything. Like, this is a sword that's hundreds of years old and has seen hundreds of battles. Oh, I love that. Now, like I said, she has this little piece right here that hangs off on the side, and you can just push. Come on. Okay, yeah, the sword fits through that little loop. I had to go gentle with it, and I went off camera for a second just to make sure that I was doing it right, because this is a very tight fit around the blade. You can't just push it in and pull it out. You have to be gentle with it, otherwise you might rip it. And just go slow with it, and eventually it'll get in there, and it's not going to fall out. And I think that's why it's so tight, so that it will hold it in there, it will hold it secure. But just be careful with that so you don't don't stretch that piece out and tear it. In addition to her sword and spear, she comes with this axe, and I love this because it's very rare that Diana uses the axe in the comics. But when she does, it's awesome. And I haven't found a figure that really includes her axe with it, and I'm really glad Mezco put the axe in with this. Because once again, just like the sword, look at this axe. Look at the dings in the blade. Look at the weathering. Look at the use. I love how it has this two-tone coloring in here with the dark gray on the inside of the blade and the bright silver for the blade itself. And then just like the spear, you have this brown shaft right here, this handle, that has the red wraps around it and the gold highlights to make it pop a little, make it stand out, but it also matches, come on, focus it, it also matches her aesthetic as well, her color aesthetic, her color pattern. Oh man, I love this axe. Now, in addition to her sword and axe and spear, she comes with two versions of the Lasso of Truth, the Golden Perfect. Now, she has this version that is her wrapped-up version that she can wear on her hip. And like I showed you before, that this little piece right there comes down, and then you can take the lasso, and you can hang it on there, and then you just pop that back on, and the lasso hangs from her side. Now, a lot of toys that come with a curled up lasso just have a little hook on there, and it doesn't stay on very well, especially when you get into some poses, but this will hold because I like how it closes off. And there she has her sword on one side, she has the Godslayer on one side, and she has the Golden Perfect on the other side. And I really like that. And like I said, she comes with two versions of the lasso, that she has this as well. And this is what I had hoped McFarlane would have done with their Lasso of Truth. Because if you remember the McFarlane Toys Wonder Woman, she has a curled up lasso and she has an unfurled lasso, but this is a bendy line so that you can bend it into all kinds of positions and you can get some combat looks out of it. You can get some in motion. You can get some dynamic poses for it. And I love that. It is very thin. It might be a little frail. It feels like that if I got too rough with this, it would be very easy to break. But let's face it, if you have a figure like this, you're not going to be getting too rough with it, and you're basically going to pose it, and you're basically going to display it. So you'll be careful with it. And trying to get it perfectly straight is a futile endeavor, I feel. But truthfully, it's a rope. It's a lasso. It's almost alive. It's never going to be perfectly straight in the poses that you put it in. Along with her weapons, I almost forgot that she comes with this shield, and I love this shield. I love this Amazonian, this Greek pattern going on here. I love the symbol being up front, and I love that it's in the same color scheme as the rest of her, and it's just going to match her perfectly. It's also not a clip-on. It has these two straps that this would fit over her wrist, this would go in her hand, and we'll see how in a moment, but I just want to take a look at that looks really good. Speaking of hands, Diana comes with various sets of hands. You saw these ones. These are her clenched fists. These are the ones that come default on the figure. She comes with this pair of open hands, and on these you can really see the wraps that they put in there. I just really love that detail. I really love that. She comes with a pair of gripping hands. She comes with another pair of gripping hands that at first I didn't know why she came with two sets of gripping hands, but if you look at the grip, you can see that it's a little bit angled, plus her thumbs are out, and I'm pretty sure these are for holding her spear out in some action poses. Also, popping her hands off are very easy, that it just pops right off. The stem is actually in the wrist, and the peg hole is in the hand, and they're very soft, and they go on and off very easily, but I don't feel like they're going to fall off, because you can feel a pop when you push it on, because it has that little mushroom nub right there that it just grabs onto them. With the shield here, I think you take one of these open hands and you can just slide the strap down, and then she's holding it like so. So it looks very natural the way she's holding it. It doesn't really move much. Maybe use one of the grip hands. I don't know, but I feel like that is the better hand for holding the shield. She also has all these wearable armor pieces here, that these are her shoulder pauldrons. This is something that goes around her neck to protect her neckline in battle. And she has her cape that has this flexible wire in it so that you can pose the cape as well. And I love cloth capes, but I love cloth capes that have a wire down the side. I almost wish that there was one going along the bottom too, but I think the down the sides will be all right. This clasp does not work. This is a fake clasp. To get this on, you just pop the head off, and then you put the cape on her. And let's actually do that. Let's see how that looks. Pop the head off. Lay the cape down. Pop the head back on. And, oh yeah. Yeah, that's going to look great. That's going to look so great. So few figures of her come with the cape, and I love when they include it, especially when it's the red one. And I love this design going along it, because actually in DC Universe Online, the MMO that they have, you can get this cape with this design in it, and that just looks great. Okay, we're getting to the end of the accessories. I promise you that we have these 3 blast effects that you can see. These are meant to be things that will stick to her. These are meant to be things that will stick to her bracers to replicate her deflecting bullets, but there's no peg holes in her bracers. But you can see on the bottom here that these attach with magnets, and they hold really well to her as well. So you can position these anywhere you want on her bracers as long as there's the magnet and there's the metal underneath. And those just look cool. Oh, those look real cool. I really like that touch to it. Oh, that looks great. I was hoping that you might be able to stick them to her shield too, but the shield is all plastic, so there's no place for the magnet to latch onto. And finally, last but not least, there is the stand. And if I gushed over the League of Legends stands, oh man, look at this thing. Look at how large it is. Look at the design. Look at the paint job. This is fantastic. Now you have this foot peg here, and once again, I know if you've seen the Mezco reviews before, you already know where this is going. But it also comes with this claw attachment that you can just take this, pop the foot peg out. Come on out. Come on out. Yep. And then you just put the arm up top, and there you go. There you have your flight stand. You can position it however you want, and it also has these screws here on the side so that once you get it into position, you can tighten it down so it will hold position. So you can use it for a standing stand, or you can use it for a flight stand. Considering this is Diana, more than likely, I'm going to be using it like this. Okay, now for size comparisons, here she is with McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Wonder Woman 84 and Wonder Woman Last Night on Earth. Here she is with Mattel DC Multiverse Wonder Woman from the 2017 movie and DC Direct Cheetah. And yeah, this is going to look real good. I'm definitely going to put these two together. My Cheetah's been in a crouched pose for the past couple years, so her legs have bowed a little bit. I just gotta work those back together, but I like this. I like that a lot. Here she is with Hasbro Marvel Legends, Captain Marvel, and Psylocke from the Nimrod 3-pack. Here she is with Hasbro Star Wars Black Series, Ahsoka Tano. I believe this is the Walmart exclusive, and G.I. Joe Classified Scarlet. You can see that Diana is much bigger than most other female characters, as it should be. Here she is with Lanyard Toys, City Hunter Predator, and Xenomorph Drone, because, let's face it, DC has crossed over with everything at this point. And finally, here she is with the Spartans, Master Chief, and Cat. So I'm sure it will come as a surprise to no one that I love this figure. It's Mezco 112. We knew what we were going to get before we even opened the box. It's why you buy Mezco. Now, I have always been one to say that I don't get into buying the high-end premium figures because for me, personally, that takes away some of the charm of it being a toy. Like, you spend 20 bucks on a figure, 30 bucks on a figure, you're getting something that you know you can play with, that you can try things with, and if something breaks, you're not going to be too heartbroken, you can go out and get another one. That when you get into the higher end designer figures, that always just took some of the charm, some of the appeal away from it for me. However, getting into this figure with it being Wonder Woman, and getting it for a really good price. I mean a really good price. The kind of price that was like, I can't pass this up because I'll never get it again. The guy at RetroCon really cut me a deal on it, so I decided to dive in, I decided to get it, and I'm really glad that I did, because I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun over the past couple hours playing with this figure, posing this figure, trying different things, checking out the different looks you can get with her, and I just really enjoyed having this one for the last couple hours. So yeah, I like it. Yeah, this is going to be my main Diana on the shelf. No surprise there. You can really only find this one at like conventions and the secondary market. Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Mezco themselves sold out on this one. So if you do want this one, good luck finding it. Mezco has a bunch of other stuff that's coming up. I mean, Mezco always has stuff that's coming up. And yes, because of this, I've even pre-ordered some more Mezco figures. Like, I pre-ordered the Crow on Big Bad Toy Store, and there's a couple of other things that I have coming down the line from them that we'll be taking a look at when we get them. So until those come, play well, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.